Hello curl friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's great to have you join me today. Today we are doing part of my one and done series where I take a look at an individual product to look to see how it performs on its own as a single styler. Now I know I do this at various times throughout my different reviews and everything like that, but this series focuses, I have done some newer products on this series, but it also focuses on products that I've used before either in combination with other stylers and I wanted to try it by itself. And it also focuses on stylers that maybe I have used by themselves, but you guys just haven't seen. So products I haven't really featured. I may have talked about them, and this is one of these products today that we're doing. I've talked about this before, but I've never actually featured it on my channel. So what I'm referring to is the Soultanicals Clump and Curl Afro Vegan Peach Custard. I have raved about this product in the past before, but one thing I have noticed is I tend to like it on shorter hair. Now my hair is getting significantly longer than what it was when I cut it in November. Actually, you know what? I take that back. When I cut it in November, I cut it about to the length of my bra. So like the back area of my bra. And okay, it's beyond that. It's grown like to the base of that. But my hair curls up so much that you can't tell. Like it looked significantly higher. Like it was up to my shoulders when I would style it shortly after the haircut. And so that would have been like the perfect time to have done this. But I actually think my hair is still at a pretty decent length, so I'm hoping this will still work out. And it has been a long time since I used this. So I cracked this open the other day just to make sure she still looked good. And she does. It's a very loose gel. Like I can't even really show you. I'll probably have to show you like on top. Let me see if I can angle the camera. Do you guys see that? Like she moves. She's going places, so I can't really, I don't know how well that's showing up on camera. But like I was saying, I do like that custard better on more wet hair. Now it does give me a lighter hold from what I remember. It's very, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Dippy Doo Girls with Curls as I get the smaller curls, maybe a little bit bigger than that, but I get a lot of them. I get a lot of fullness with it. It's a softer look. It's not as defined as the Dippy Doo. So I'm trying to think of another gel that I would say it's similar to, and nothing's coming to my head right off the bat. But I don't want to give too many spoilers. I want you guys to be able to see, is this going to be good for a single styler or not? We're going to find out. Does it still work for my hair? We're going to find out. Like I said, I've loved it in the past, but you know, my hair's needs can change. And you know, like I said, it's been a while since I used this, so I'm hoping my product's still good. Like I said, from all intents and purposes, me just looking at it, it still seems like it's going to be okay. So my hair is pretty wet, but I do think I want to go in with just a little bit more water as I've been talking. It says, actually, let me introduce the product to you while I'm going in with more water. This is the Soultanicals Clump and Curl Afro Vegan Peach Custard. Clump and Curl delivers more definition with major clump for light curl definition. Our proprietary blend of vegan curl activating ingredients binds the hair strands together, sealing and creating more defined curls. Clumps tightly for easy curl definition and creates a powerful bond to lock in moisture and prevent any flyaway strands. Clump and Curl reduces frizz while nourishing and shaping the curl pattern. It locks in curls for 24 hours plus and then provides curl formation and a medium hold. The directions say for best results, apply the Clump and Curl to soaking wet, freshly washed hair. For very tightly coiled hair, it recommends to use the Frizz Whiz as a leave-in conditioner and apply to small sections on soaking wet hair. Smooth into each section with fingers from root to tip. Okay, so I know the directions say to apply this on smaller sections. We're not going in with smaller sections. You know what? This may be a little bit looser than I remember it being, but this is the consistency. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was quite this loose. Okay, we're gonna give it a try anyways because I want to see what this is all about still, if it still gives. Basically, I'm just dipping my fingers in there and it's kind of running down. Very smooth, very lightweight. It still has the beautiful peach scent to it. And I'm just going to go in 2 sections because that's how I generally like to apply my products. And I might go in with some afterwards, like I might do my brush styling and then go in with a little bit more at that point. Like after my brush styling, scrunch out or micro plot my hair and then go in with a little bit more. That might be what I do. Haven't decided. I don't think I did that in the past though. Maybe I shouldn't change things up too much. But with so much water in my hair, it does tend to dilute products, but it does clump my curls. The problem is though, is I don't remember this being a very hard holding gel, and I would always go in with my hairspray. So I'm just trying to maximize my hold without like weighing my, well, it's not gonna weigh my hair down, I don't think. Don't remember it weighing my hair down before in the past. One thing about this gel, it is a moisturizing enough gel. That's why they call it custard. Typically custards do tend to be more moisturizing. A custard is a type of a gel. So a gel is going to offer you that hold, it's going to offer for those sealing properties to it, but it's also going to moisturize your hair as well. All right, I'm just going to take my Tangle Teezer and disperse this product a little bit more. Tell you what, if this gel I do find out it still works really well for me, like I really need to focus on using this up because I don't want to let it go bad in my stash. That would be awful because I've loved this. Oh, speaking of this too, you guys, Soultanicals usually brings this out around, I would say like August time, maybe September. I've seen them bring it out for several years in a row. Now, at the time that I'm filming this, it's not currently on their website, but definitely keep an eye on their website because like I said, they do bring out seasonal items. And I do think that this one has been pretty popular in the past, so correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely keep an eye out for it if you're interested in it because Soultanicals products do come and they do go pretty fast. Okay, so I've done the back section of my hair and I've done one side of my hair, and so far this product has really good slip. I about said really good and very good, like I try to combine the two words. I do that a lot of times, I find myself. But anyways, this product has great slip, which I expected it to. That's what I kind of remembered. But I was thinking about this and I'm not 100% sure if I kind of wondering what my brush styling method was back then when I first used this, when I first fell in love with this product. I'm not sure I had the bounce curl brush. I'm just not sure. So if I didn't have the bounce curl brush at that point, then I was using my Demon brush, and my brush styling methods were just a little bit different. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what it was like exactly. I'd have to go back and like watch some of my old videos, but my sectioning methods were a little bit different. I didn't do this top horseshoe section. I think I just kind of went around and grabbed different pieces. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it's just one of those things that, you know, I'm like, if my brush is different and my brush styling methods are different, maybe that will also lend to different results as well. And another thing that I've noticed today, it has nothing to do with the product. I am just struggling parting my hair. I've said this before where sometimes I feel like I just go through these days where I just have troubles parting my hair and I have no idea why. It's not like my hair is tangly or anything like that. It's just like my fingers are having a hard time working through and grabbing sections. I'm not even trying to do a nice part here, just trying to grab like a layer. Is it perfect? Well, that's pretty decent actually, but I'm having troubles parting with my fingers. I'm even having troubles parting with my brush, trying to get this top horseshoe section and getting these side pieces here. Like, I'm like, what's the deal? Some days I feel like my hair just does not want to separate in the way that I want it to. And this is one of those days. But let me show you how this is kind of scrunching together. Okay, the other side I know had more water to my hair because I could definitely feel or hear a squish to it. So let me get some more water on this section so we can try to be as even as possible. You guys, I got this Equate continuous mist bottle just because it's what I could easily find in the store. I do not have that bottle linked in my description, but I got that one and I don't like it. While it does mist well, it just goes on and on and on and on, like it doesn't know when to stop. Okay, can you guys hear that squishing sound? That's what I had on the other side and what I want to see, I guess, or want to hear. Okay, I think it looks like I have really good juicy curl clumps from what I can see, which is kind of limited in this position, to be truthfully honest. All right, I've re-wet all my sections before, so I gotta do this top section. Just give it a couple pass throughs here just to make sure things are smooth. I can still faintly smell the fragrance, the peach fragrance, and to me it's very lightweight, but it does smell oh so good. Absolutely love that. I think I'm like a fruity scent type of person. I like what was it? The Curls Blueberry Bliss. Absolutely love that scent. I could sit here and smell it all day. And this peach custard is another one of those. And what an appropriate time with it being, at the time I'm filming this, it's spring, but the time you're seeing this, it's definitely summertime. So, but you know, just a very appropriate scent for this time of year. Did you guys hear that? That was my shoulder. Don't worry, it didn't hurt, but my left shoulder does that frequently. I had an injury to it a number of years ago, and at the time it hurt. Now it doesn't, but it is a little bit more susceptible. Wow, can I talk? It is a little bit more susceptible, I feel like, to having shoulder injuries to it. Like, I've re-injured it a couple times. The most recent time was, what was it, 2 years ago? I'm trying to remember if it was 1 or 2 years ago. I think it was 1 year ago, actually, around Christmas time, or just after Christmas time. It was a little concerning, but thankfully it has healed. Okay, just going through and scrunching all over once again. I think I am going to do that micro plopping and adding a little bit more. Okay, can you guys see the curl clumps here? Let me get myself situated, and like I said, we'll finish this styling up. Okay, I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to scrunch a little bit more in this upside down position. Just kind of flip all around, scrunching, and then I'll do my micro plopping. All right, back to this base position. This is what the curls are looking like before micro plopping. Looking good, looking juicy. I don't really see much frizz. And now I'm just going to take my t-shirt towel, going to lightly scrunch and just kind of gently like squeeze. I'm not really pulsing, just holding it there and squeezing. I'm going to do a little bit of that up top here. Just going to kind of dab that area. And the sections closest to my root always take the longest to dry. My ends usually dry first. All right, now I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this gel or custard. I'm just going to be dipping my 2 fingers in it. I can't show you too well because then I just immediately rub it together, but if I don't immediately rub it together, it's just going to drip all over. So just running that all over, glazing it all over, I should say. I'm going to scrunch a little bit more. I'm sure hoping this performs like I remember it, because one, I loved it so much, like who wouldn't want it to perform, but also because I hate the idea that maybe I might have let this go too long. All right, so now I have my wet plop on. I'm gonna let this sit on about 10 minutes. If you're curious why I choose to wet plop my hair, please watch my diffusing video. I will leave that linked up in the cards so you guys can watch that, and I'll try to remember to leave a link down below as well. If I don't link it, you guys please let me know and I will definitely add that on. But in that video, I explain why I choose to wet plop. I also explain it in a lot of my other videos, but I have a lot going on today. So like I said, I'm only gonna let this sit on about 10 minutes. I'm going to diffuse my hair and I'll be back to show you my results. Okay friends, we are back to see my results using the peach custard from Soultanicals. Let's show you what the results look like here, and I will definitely share my thoughts. I definitely have a lot of thoughts for this. So let's take a look though at the underside, and I'm going to show you the back as well. Okay, so for my thoughts, I do have overall some very good curl definition. It's not quite what I remembered, and that could just be like a memory issue, like I'm not recalling it the way it actually was, but I remember overall liking it better, or I just remember my results being fluffier, fuller. I mean, they do feel pretty full today. We'll get more into details, but I just remember my results being a little bouncier, a little juicier curl clumps. Now let's get into the details. So like I said, I have good definition throughout. I have it on the top and I have it on the underside. Lots of nice pretty curls. I feel like this side is working a little bit better than this side. This side just looks a little, I don't know, a little lackluster. And part of it, I will say, I had this giant curl clump here. It's still like over clumped. Can you guys see that? And then this little thing here who's hanging out behind was also clumped with it. And I broke it apart, and then at one point this was just completely straight here. You can see it's getting a little bit of curl there, but she was like completely straight. I thought, oh no, what do I do with that? Like, do I start over with that piece? But we all know I'm not great at refreshing, nor do I like it. So I just went in with the diffuser a little bit more. I'm going to break this curl clump apart a little bit more here. You can just see where at the root, see, it's supposed to be like 3 different pieces. Can you guys see that? So I'll see if I could do this without creating more frizz. All right, I got 1. Let's do the last 2 here. I mean, I didn't make it any worse. I don't feel like this area, I don't know, the curl pattern just doesn't look as good. It looks a little bit more stringy. It doesn't, that could just be my curl pattern there. Curl patterns do change over time, and hormones play a big effect in that. And then also nutrition, just things like that. It's not like I think like my curl pattern looks bad. Like I said, I just like my left side a lot better than I like my right side right now. Overall though, like I said, decent definition. One side obviously better than the other, not remarkable on this side. I do have a lot of frizz mixed throughout, and I did notice like as I was diffusing, the ends were getting dry a lot faster than this top area, and my hair was very, very wet, especially up there. Maybe I shouldn't have let it get quite as soaking wet. But anyways, so I focused the diffuser more on my mid-lengths and roots and tried not to get the ends as much so that they didn't frizz out more, and I think that worked pretty good. But there is frizz throughout, and honestly I remember that in the first one, but it's always been what I would call functional frizz. When I say the first one, I mean like the my first time of remembering this, and for the first couple times after I used it, that I really like my results. So I do think my frizz level is very consistent with what I've had before. This area, maybe, like I said, I don't know. Let's just pretend we don't see this area. Maybe I should flip my part. Would that make things better? Would that make me happier? Maybe. Okay, that might have made a difference. Now, how does this side? Yeah, I like the way this underside looks better. I mean, it's not the underside anymore, but it was when I had my part flipped over. Yeah, maybe I just need to do that. I need to keep my part on this side today. That's the nice thing about flipping your part. You know, if it doesn't look good on one side, you can always move it to the other side. So what I say, decent definition. I do have some frizz, and I do feel like I have a decent amount of volume. Is it the same volume that I remember the first time of using this? No, not exactly, but it still looks pretty good. For me being volume challenged, I do feel like this is a decent amount of volume. And you guys, I keep doing this. I kind of feel like my hair is still a little bit damp. I went in with that diffuser time and time again over my roots, and she still feels damp. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. Maybe tomorrow that will affect the results of tomorrow after it's fully dried out. But yeah, that's a little frustrating. I apologize. Sometimes it happens on camera though. Like I said, I have a lot to do today, so I am trying to kind of hurry this video along a little bit, and that's apparently my fault. A lot of times after I diffuse, I will walk around my house, you know, do different tasks around my house, maybe do some laundry, do some cleaning, do some computer work, whatever. And I give it a period of time to just rest, and then, you know, I'll feel my hair then. Every once in a while, I'll go back and diffuse a little bit more, but usually I don't. Today, I just kept diffusing and diffusing and diffusing and retargeting areas that I was diffusing, so apparently it still didn't do the trick. As far as moisture, my moisture still feels pretty good. I'm going to wait and see how it feels tomorrow, because just obviously, like I said, my hair still feels a little damp, so that might be affecting, you know, what I'm actually feeling throughout my hair. And for the hold, as I was diffusing my hair, I got a very, very slight cast. But honestly, that broke away pretty fast as my hair continued to dry. And now, I know it calls itself a medium hold. I'm going to say it's more of a softer hold. In my opinion, it's just more of a softer hold. Now, different hairstyles, different hair types, I should say, may feel differently about the hold level, and that's just one of those things that you'd have to play around with. But we are definitely going to check back on day 2, see how these curls are holding up, what I'm thinking about then, and we'll draw final conclusions at that point, who I think that this might be best for, or, you know, just do I still like it? So I'll check back with you in about 24 hours. Okay, curl friends, welcome back for day 2 hair using the Soultanicals. They call themselves the Clump and Curl, or they call the product the Clump and Curl. I refer to it more as the Peach Custard because I don't know, just sensory, I guess, smelling the peach, and even the packaging looks more peach-like to me. And by the way, yes, I'm in my bathroom because it's early in the morning and my sunroom's not light enough right now. But let's reveal the results of day 2 hair. So we'll take a side shot and look at the curl clumps there. Go on this side and curl clumps. And now let's take a look at the back and I'll give you my thoughts. All right, I know I said I've used this product before, but honestly, I wasn't sure my results, like what I was going to get exactly, because it had been so long since I'd used it. My hair was different then, like at one point it was shorter, and at one point it was significantly longer. And I knew I liked the shorter results, but I didn't care for the longer results. And like they said, just due to the fact that it had been so long since I used it, I'm like, I'm not really sure what we're going to be walking into with this hairstyle. And day 1 was a little bit rough. It was a little bit below my expectations. I was a little bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. Was it bad? No, it wasn't really bad in my opinion. I had decent definition. I had frizz with that, but decent definition. And I remember the frizz, I think I remember calling it functional frizz in my opinion. And I still think that's today. Like, I'm looking at my mirror behind you because this one isn't available to me right now. But I still feel like I have a good definition. I still feel like I have a functional frizz. I do have frizz throughout, but it works with the hairstyle. It's not even as much as I remembered before, but I know we're not having the humidity like we did quite before, so that could play a role in it. Actually, I'm sure it does. But I think the biggest reason why I wasn't like wowed by my hair yesterday was because I discovered it really wasn't all the way dry. Despite how much I worked on drying my hair, it really wasn't all the way dry. And that's on me. I apologize. I should be able to tell when my own hair is dry, but sometimes, you know, I said I was in a hurry yesterday, and it's true, so I just kind of rushed things along. But today, she's dry now, so we're happy to look at the results now. And this area that was giving me more troubles, yes, it's still not like a tight curly spiral here, but I do feel like it looks better. It looks more blended in, it looks more cohesive with the rest of the curl pattern and everything like that. It just works together better. And I can flip my hair on this side, and I still like what I'm seeing on these curls kind of underneath here as well. For some reason though, I'm just appreciating the part on this side better. I don't know, it feels better to me, at least today. The moisture of my hair still feels good, and I can appreciate that. I said before that this was a softer holding styler. It is. It feels very soft, but it has some surprising like lasting hold. Now granted, I didn't do a whole lot to put it through the ringer yesterday. I was in very protected environments and everything like that. So this hair was a little bit babied. It was a little bit pampered. It didn't have to work too hard to maintain its style. So the question is, do I think that this peach custard would work well as a single styler? I think several things kind of hinge on that answer. So if you don't mind like a softer hairstyle, if you don't mind functional frizz throughout your hairstyle and hair that just feels like hair, natural, like it doesn't feel producty, then yes, this is a good one. If you don't need a ton of moisture in your routine, this is another good option. If your hair does get easily weighed down and just easily loses its curl pattern, like a very soft, fine finish, and just, what do I want to say? Doesn't have much structure to your curl pattern, and you really like to keep that curl pattern, you might find that this is not the best product for you. This is going to be someone, I feel like, who's kind of the in-between ground, not the super soft finish and not the super like a rough, dry finish, because you're going to, if you're on this side, if you're really super dry and rough and coarse, I don't think that this is going to meet all your needs. I don't think it's going to have enough moisture. I don't think it's going to have enough holding power. Although holding power, that might not be the biggest thing. I think primarily it's going to be the moisture level. Now, could you pair this with something else to moisturize it? Yes, you could. But then I think that's also going to reduce the level of hold that this has. So that's something to consider. Play around with it if you want to. I mean, if you're a person who likes to play around with products, feel free to. I mean, I completely understand. I would do the same thing. Thinking about this though, I've actually never paired this product with anything else. I've only ever used it as a single styler, so maybe I need to like play around with pairing it with something else. Maybe like a harder hold gel, or what else should I do? Maybe in the wintertime, try it with like a cream styler underneath. I don't know. I just feel like it will have enough hold then. But that's what I said right now, and it's doing fine. But like I was saying with the other side, the very soft finish side, the very fine hair that easily falls, like the curl pattern easily falls, this might not be the best product for you either. It's the middle ground people I feel like that are gonna benefit the best for this. So if this product does come back in stock, I would encourage you to check it out. Let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. Give me any of your thoughts and feedback. Have you tried this or are you interested in trying it? And until I see you again in the next video, have a great day. Bye.